Okay.
I'll move a little closer anyway. Okay, so we'll call the meeting to order at 7:01 p.m. All right. Minutes, there are no minutes to review. Public comments on the agenda. Any public comments before we begin?
Do we have people in the audience live?
Nobody in the audience, it's just the three of us.
Right.
Okay.
We have one guest via Zoom. So if you want to make any public comment, Pat, you can let us know in the chat on Zoom. And we don't have anybody on YouTube either. So
Okay.
All right.
All right. Let's get on with new business. First new business is a motion to approve Resolution 439 for the extension of the discount period for Township real property tax. Can I hear a motion?
I'll make a
I'll
motion.
make the motion. Sorry, Jacob.
No, it's
Brian
okay.
makes the motion.
Yep. I'll second it. I'll second
Okay.
Brian's motion.
Okay.
Aye.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
What we do with that then is we'll make sure that we have Lynn send that off to the Monroe County Commissioners, because as they said in their Greg's latest email, they're going to take on the responsibility of notifying everybody and getting the paperwork done. And then Sharon Gerbrick, we send that to.
Right.
We're done. We're done.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Item number 2, motion to approve the transfer of $20,000 from general fund to the park fund for operating expenses.
Okay. I'll make that motion.
Okay.
I'll second the motion then.
I beat you to it.
Oh, you did?
Run a little
Okay.
bit. Okay.
Okay.
Vote. All
Aye.
in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Done. Item 3, motion to approve 25% of repair costs for a Bushkill ambulance in the amount of $1,875.
Yeah, and again, that was a result of a message that came through from Middle Smithfield. We all saw it. Was it $7,500 initially to repair the ambulance for Bushkill emergency? And so we got back and said, hey, Michelle, then, like there's 4 entities, so, each one of us pay a quarter. And she thought that was great, so that's where that came from.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion.
Can I question that, or am I too late for that?
No, not at all.
All right, Brian. It's Pat that works at the township. I'm also a resident of the township. Most of you know I do wear many different hats in the township. But anyways, I'm questioning this as a resident. You have other ambulance corps that service Smithfield Township. If they get into a jam or something, we're going to bail them out on repairs also, and even all your volunteer fire departments that service the township that are losing out on fundraisers right now and stuff like that, if we have any costly repairs?
Well, we have Suburban. You're right there, and we don't have a really close relationship with Suburban, Pat. So it's Bushkill and the communities they serve. We felt that would be for the price split 4 ways. We thought it would be all right to do that.
Right, I get it. I'm just kind of looking at you got other volunteer organizations that are struggling as well through these times, or getting ready to struggle if they have any large repairs. We all know money don't grow on tree, Brian.
You betcha. Yep.
Yeah, I think you got a good point. But my feeling is, if somebody else ran into trouble, we'd have to look at it like we are with this too. And this came to us from Middle Smithfield, who had already decided that they should put in quite a bit of money and asked us if we'd contribute something. So we felt obligated, I think, and I think anybody who serves us is somebody that we really have to look at to try to help out if we have some problem like this that they bring up. So
Yeah,
right.
I do applaud you for stepping up to help them out. Just, you know, you set a standard, just got to kind of watch it. You know what I'm saying? Because it could get very costly even on the township's end.
Very true.
Well, that's a good point. We're not setting any standard, though, Pat. So please know that. What we'll do is as Robert just said, if there's a situation that comes and it's reasonable, we'll sit down and each case will be taken on its own merits.
Fair
we
enough.
know how everybody's hurting, and don't forget, partner, we're doing our best to keep you guys whole, and we're paying salaries, and no matter what, we ask you to come in occasionally, but that's part of the deal. But the most important thing is that we don't know what the hell is going to happen to us, Pat.
Oh, Brian, trust me, I wasn't dragging in my work-wise. This was just as a resident-wise, and I do appreciate what you're doing for us workers as well.
Well, see, and that's all part and parcel. That's all I was saying.
Right, I understand, Brian, but I do applaud you for helping out Bushkill as well. But I'm just saying, just hopefully nobody else gets into a jam like them. And it's sad to see that they are in a jam, and I'm glad that the townships are stepping up to help them.
Yeah. I don't even know what the hell happened. Did it break down or was it an accident, Pat? I don't even know.
I don't know. I know they've had one of their ambulances been sitting over at Gray Chevy for at least a month now. I've seen it there the few times I've been out and about. So I'm assuming it might be that piece of equipment that they're referring to.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Well, thank you, Pat. Thank you for the public comment.
Yeah. We're not used to public comments. It's wonderful. If it was
usually it's Tuesday night. It's my firehouse night, but drill's canceled, so I decided to see what's going on in the community I live in somewhere else.
Well, we're glad you did. Otherwise, it gets kind of lonely around here.
So, but I'm glad you guys are doing this. Like I said, putting this out there for the people. I hope maybe it catches on.
All right. Well, I've got a motion on this.
Definitely.
Second from Jack. Okay.
Motion. Yeah, I'll second the motion.
All right. So, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion carried. Let's go on to the next. Discussion of new interest rate at People's Security Bank on all existing accounts.
Robert, can I just say, Jacob, can I just a comment here?
Yeah, sure.
That surprised me because we have an excellent relationship with that bank. They're a very stable bank, but if they're going to cut it by 33%, boom, the first volley, and that's only in March, of 2020. God knows what the hell's going to happen is if this thing gets worse. And the economic, financial fallout, I'm petrified. I really am. It's a terrible word to use, but banks start, Jesus Christ, they may go down and say no interest. Or somebody told me today, I was trying to check it out, maybe we'll have to pay them interest to keep our money. But we have to keep, they're the bellwethers that we have to keep our eyes out for. We really got to be alert because we all know where we are. So what do you want to do with that, guys? Do we want to take the 3-month and hope that in July it's better, or go for 1% for the entire year? And I don't know. Whatever you guys say.
Well, my feeling is that I would doubt that it would go down below 1% come July. So I think it might be better to take the chance in 3 months when interest rates might even recover. I don't know if it'll go above 1%, but I think that reevaluating is better than locking in now.
Well, the only problem is this: what if inflation starts to creep up because the government is printing money at a rate that is so huge that it's unprecedented? We just don't know where everything is going. And if inflation goes up, the rates are going to go up too.
Well, that's a good point. I have no answer for it. We could do it. Jacob suggested we'll go for the 3 months, lock it in for 3 months. There's no guarantee we would get for the year anyway. they were going to go back to their board to see if they could get permission to keep us at 1.
Oh, wow.
I talked to a good friend of mine and an employee of J.P. Morgan. This is what I'm trying to come out. Things can get dire. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be. So I won't say anymore. But we just really have to be on our toes.
What is our principal that we've got in? Or we're putting.
I'm sorry.
What's the principal amount? Not the interest, but what's the principal?
The principal at this bank?
Yeah.
Mhm.
A couple million, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
One of it pretty much is a fail-safe because we have still close to $7 million bond out there, and the bank people that we work with on that, I try to send every once in a while. They'll send us some heads up on that too, and they're looking to see. It's just a volatile place where to go and what's going on with it. But
Well,
the Royal Bank of Canada is yeah.
Oh, right.
Bank of Canada. Oh, that's my bank.
Is it?
Yeah, I got stock in that bank. It's always done very well.
Well, honest to God, and we're fortunate enough to have initially went with it with these gentlemen, and they got us into that situation for the bond initially, and now we've gone back there 2 other times, historically lowest rates, and we're doing very well with that so far.
Well, as far as this particular loan, maybe we should say we're interested in a year and see what they come back with.
Well, well, this isn't a loan. This is, this is our money, though.
I'm sorry, interest.
Yeah. So I think it's better to evaluate with them in 3 months if they have a better rate. I doubt that it will go negative.
Yeah, I honestly, God, don't know. There's no check the oil prices right now. They've gone negative, first time in history.
Yeah. Well.
So we say we'd accept the rate for 3 months.
I'd like to make a motion to take it for 3 months.
Okay, I'll second that motion.
Okay, hold on, let me catch up with you guys.
And if it goes below 1, Jacob, you buy dinner for us.
Okay.
I don't know how you get the money, but
I'll get you Old Forge pizza.
Oh my God. Okay, so I did. Yeah, we had that motion in a second, I guess. Robert?
Favor.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Okay. Motion to authorize the release of an authorization letter for Ed McCormick to sign the necessary paperwork for the new leaf truck at Hunter Peterbilt.
I'll make that motion, I guess. Right?
I'll second it.
Hold on. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Aye. Motion carried.
And look at that, the delay is actually not as bad with the different calls at this point. So this is working pretty well so far.
All right. Item 6 is discussion of hiring an office manager. Our original motion of looking for and advertising for a office manager actually expires tomorrow. Tomorrow's the deadline. I don't know if you've gotten any, Brian.
I didn't get. There were 3 people who contacted me only because they knew me.
Yeah.
And they were supposed to follow up with a resume, and I said that the ad in the paper said that the last day to apply was, I think it's 4:00 tomorrow.
Yeah.
And no, they didn't come through. And the one I'm really disappointed because the person I talked to a while ago really has the background, the experience that I feel is what we need. But while we're on this topic, let's gather what we've got. I know Jacob, you said that in the ads that we did put in, you got a lot of literally what didn't amount to much, but we have to put those together,
Right.
document our case, and then take a look at what we have. And the other thing is, I don't know that we want to be filling this position right now, only because of the monies that are involved, and we're able to go forward. We've done a good job over the years. We're in a good, stable position, and we can tough it out for a little bit further until we get just a handle on this.
I disagree. I think we really need it now more than ever, because I think we're kind of at loose ends around here. You're out. I'm out.
Why are you at loose ends around here?
Because it just seems that we're drifting. That's my.
I don't see that at all. I don't see that at all. I think that we have some things that are in the wire. You got your wellness projects, and I guess a couple of other things, and I see that's going back and forth. That might be drifting a little bit, but I mean that's really, you're working with Brian, right, and Mary on that.
We're working together. Yes.
Yeah, but everything else, I don't know. We're going forward. We're keeping everything in order, and I don't know. I don't know if you want to fill that.
We've been going through this for years.
Huh?
We've been going through this for years. We never hire anybody. Let's just do it. Let's try it. If it doesn't work, we'll do something else. But let's try it. I think we got to get somebody in here and just get going. And I'll do this. I'll make a motion that we choose a candidate, and let's keep it open, looking for candidates, and give it a couple more weeks. Let's say to May 6th, 2020. And then whoever we've got, let's negotiate with someone and see if we can make a deal. And if we want, we can do it as a 6-month probation or a year, whatever we want, but let's do something.
Okay, now here's on Pat. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Yep.
Here's the obligation we've got. Pat's he's a citizen of Smithfield Township, as we all are. We have to be so careful. We're not spending our money, and we're not trying to make our lives a little easier. But the fact of the matter is, we're spending our citizens' money. And I'd say let's give it you said a couple of weeks. Let's find out what's going to happen in Pennsylvania. Are we going to go back to work? I think he said the 8th. Maybe they'll open up. I just don't know. But I don't know that I would want to be going out and spending, don't forget, the goddamn, excuse my language, but it's an expensive project because we did say that we would offer
Brian,
benefits.
we approved
$31,000 a year in benefits.
Brian,
in itself.
We approved $75,000 plus benefits for a township manager, which we're not hiring. This
right.
is half the price.
Yeah, well, what do you mean? That has nothing to do with nothing. What I'm saying to you, Robert, is that you're talking about $31,200 a year for benefits. Then you put in the salary. I forget what we even listed it as. 40 or
000.
How much?
5,000.
How much?
45,000.
So you're at 75,000 at least, and I don't think that's. Look, at the county's going to be laying off. Banks are laying off. Hospitals are laying off. We're hiring, and we're taking it out of our general fund. Let's at least give it a couple of weeks, please.
I said let's give it a couple of weeks, but let's make a deadline where we're going to do something.
Okay.
Otherwise, this just drifts. That's
Hey,
why.
guys, Can I add something?
We never put an ad in the morning call, right?
That just didn't work. The website did not work.
No, it didn't. But let me say this: there's a recruitment agency out of Lafayette. It's very professional. And if it costs, I don't even know if it costs anything. At one time when we used it, it was free to municipalities, and we got some decent responses there. And that would be just an overnight thing. We'll do that. I talked to the papers in Luzerne and Lackawanna County.
Yeah.
And they're Jesus Christ, they're sitting at home. and I want to place an ad, and it was just, it got so convoluted, I just didn't do
What about
anything.
the agency? That sounds interesting.
Yes, I agree.
Well,
I agree.
look, I think it's great if we do this. I just want to put this on a time schedule so we know at some point we're going to do something. Okay?
Well, we are on time schedule, and that's why it's on the agenda for this evening.
Let's say then, let's give this 2 weeks. How about we do this? We extend it another couple of weeks and say we're still looking for people. All right?
Well, we have an ad in the paper that stopped it at dead tomorrow. So what has to happen is that we would have to go out and actually make a revision to that particular ad, because I've run into problems with that in the past, where somebody's going to say, "Hey, what the hell's going on here? You said it stopped on the 30th. That's why I didn't apply." And the next thing I know, a week later, you're still interviewing people.
Oh, okay, so here's what my idea for that then. I think we should use that professional agency at a Lafayette and extend accepting applications until, close of business, say May 13th, and have interviews completed by May 27th.
Okay.
Okay. That would give us. Hello.
Yep.
Yeah, hi, Brian. I kind of, again, as a citizen, not as an employee of the township, I'm totally on board with this position, but at this, I want to say at this time, I mean, yeah, I guess at this time, do we really want to see people coming in and being trained with this pandemic that's going on, and somebody that we don't know? I mean, pretty much right now we're all kind of a tight group, and we kind of all know where everybody goes and what they do all the time. But if I'm kind of a little worried about bringing, I wouldn't say a stranger, but a new employee, and we don't know much about and where they've been, and possibly starting to bring the virus into our building that we really don't want. If you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to be polite about it, but I don't know. I mean, I would say at least try to get on board a little bit with what Jacob said. Run it for another 2 weeks. Then these supervisors can sit down for a week or two and sort it out. And then maybe, the governor's saying the 31st for our area to try to reopen everything. So maybe kind of, review everything and do your online interviewing, through Zoom or whatever. And then possibly everything might be a little bit better once we come the 1st of June. Just a thought.
No, it's a good thought, and with the help of God, it will be better. With the help of God, it will be. Yep. All right, so then we have a plan. All right.
Okay, this is what I've got on the table here. Here's the motion on the table that's made by Mr. Pride. Motion to choose a candidate for Township Office Manager to extend interview to May 13th, 2020. Interview completed and make an offer by May 27th, 2020. Is that correct, Jacob?
Yeah, and using re-advertising to that effect, and also
Okay.
through Brian's agency with or Brian's suggested agency with
well,
Lafayette.
any agency, we don't care.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, then there's the job center. I totally forgot about after 30 years working there. That's a free service, and they'll go out and do all the legwork for us. And
all right,
so there's some freebies. Okay, I'll get on that tomorrow.
I'll second that.
Okay.
We're gonna extend it. We're gonna find any sources we can to until May 13th, and then we'll interview and hire or make an offer by May 27th. All right.
Okay. And then maybe a little bit of negotiations too on what's going on with it.
Yeah.
Maybe we could just offer benefits for the individual and not the family. That would make a lot of sense and save a lot of money.
That's the negotiation. We do anything we want.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amen. Okay.
So call the vote.
Okay. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Now let's get on to the bill paying.
Oh God, I'm going. Hey, Jacob, just before I forget, I'll be in to sign. I'll be in to sign the resolution tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
It's
Perfect.
on Lynn's desk. I signed it. It's on his desk.
I've noticed your signature is really improved.
Yeah, well,
Amazing.
you know,
Okay.
when it got to the point where the bank couldn't tell who I was, I had to do something.
Yeah, that was a funny moment. Jacob, you heard the story. We got a call from the bank. I'm sorry, I can't make this deposit. I can't cash this check. There's a signature on here. We have no idea who the hell it is. Roberts.
Okay.
All right. Pay the bills. Yeah. Oh, am I still here?
Yep, you're still there.
Okay. Well then, you have them in front of you, Jacob, Robert?
Yeah, I did this morning, and
Okay.
they looked fine to me. There was nothing nothing out of the ordinary. What makes it look big is that we have 2 payrolls on here.
Amen. And I have it in front of me also. I didn't ask Lynn to send me all the bills per se, because I knew you would be looking at them, Jacob, and signing off on them. So if you're okay with it, paying the bills, make a motion we pay the bills and as presented for the general fund
I'll
part.
second Brian's motion.
Okay, hold on a second.
General fund, park, and
Brian, you
highway.
made the motion? Or Jacob?
Brian made the motion.
Okay, hold on a second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so motion carried. All right. Public comments? Any other public comments from the public out there, Pat?
No, I'm good,
Okay.
Good.
but thank you for
Can I-
asking.
But can I go off record there for a second then? Pat, who's our steward now? Union. I'm taking you back to Union, but it's just,
Hold on one second.
Norbert,
Just so you know, we can't really pause this. So if you do want to talk to Pat about something like that, we can adjourn, and then you can still talk to him. I'll just stop the stream.
sure. Okay. No big deal. I'll talk to him tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh, we can adjourn right now. Then we don't
Yeah,
have
I gotta
anything
make a
else.
motion.
To make that motion,
Yeah.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're adjourned.
Jacob, good job. Everything looks good. I mean, you two guys